Hello, happy people, and welcome to your Moment of Zed, the YouTube channel dedicated to the most beautiful car in the world, the BMW Z3, or as the folks in Greymouth call it, the Z3. I'm Mark, and today we're going to deal with a problem I didn't know I had. It's air conditioning season here in Florida already, so I'm driving around at least in the afternoon with the top up and the AC on, and unfortunately, my evaporator water is not leaking from below the car like it should, so I think the drain lines are blocked, so we're going to go ahead and deal with that. But first, we have three Zeds of the week. And first up, we have Joe from Washington State with his 2001 3-liter 5-speed Roadster in steel gray with 101,000 miles. Now, this is Joe's first car because Joe's only 18 years old and he earned the money to buy this car himself. Nice job, Joe. Guys like Joe are the future of our hobby, and good for you. It's a beautiful car. I wish you the best of luck with it. Now, so far, Joe has upgraded the brakes and the stereo. Future plans include lowering the suspension, putting on Apex wheels, a new air intake, and a Super Sprint muffler. Next up, we have Chris from Wales with his 2002 2.2-liter Schnitzer-tuned Roadster with only 68,000 miles and a gorgeous titanium silver. Very nice, great photos, Chris. That's a beautiful, beautiful car. And last but not least, we have Sven from Hagen, Germany with his 1997 1.8-liter Roadster with 151,000 kilometers in Hellrot Red. Now, he bought this car just last year to replace his broken Porsche Boxster. He needs to sort some electrical issues still and replace the leather on the steering wheel. Sven says he likes to take tours in his car with ADAC, the largest German car club. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your beautiful cars. If you'd like to see your car on Zed of the Week in a future episode, please follow the simple instructions in the description below. Now let's go ahead and unclog those drains. Okay, so the only tool we're really using for this project is the Nextzett Klima, not sure, Cleaner Pro, which is made to kill mold and mildew in the evaporator and in the ductwork of your car and in the drain line. And now it comes with this attachment, which is just a white tube, goes on the top like that. That's what we're going to snake up the drain line to try and unclog things. This was $20 on Amazon, link in the description. Now I have the front of the car up on jack stands with the Rhino ramps underneath the wheels just as a kind of an emergency backup. This is going to give me just enough room to do the job, I think, and to film it as well, which is going to be the harder part. Okay. So again, excuse the filming, but this is very hard to do. I'm at the transmission drain plug. If I go directly over to the driver's side, from there, there's the drain hole. So basically, right above on the tunnel, driver's side about the same distance back as the drain plug for the transmission, there is the first drain line. Now there's one on the other side too, which is even harder to get to, but I'm going to try and show it. But this is the first one. This is the one I'm going to attack first because it's the most accessible. Okay, I'm on the other side of the transmission, the passenger side. I'm right above the fill plug, which you should see out of focus in the foreground of this scene. Just above that, there's a hole in the insulation that I've got my flashlight on. It's hard to see. I don't have a third hand to push the insulation back, but you can move the insulation, and that's where the other drain line is. And it is accessible. It's a little bit more difficult, but it is accessible. Okay, so back underneath the car on the driver's side, and I have the white tube that came with the Nextzett inserted into the easier to access drain hole again on the driver's side. Now I've put that up as far as I can get it to go while still having the tube in a position where the can will be upright, and I'm going to go ahead and attach the can and spray it up in the drain plug. Now the ideal way to do this actually is to open up the box where the evaporator is and your heater core is and clean directly at the evaporator. But the idea is this is a foaming cleaner. It foams up, it kills everything, it removes the dirt, and it drains down the drain line. But if your drain lines aren't open, you're not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to do it this way. This is the other method they recommend, by spraying directly up into the drain line. That should foam all the way up into the evaporator box, assuming it breaks through any clogs that I have. Okay, so I've got the can propped up, and we're going to go ahead and spray it, foam it. Hopefully I will see the foam come out the other drain. That's what I'm hoping to see. If that's the case, then I know it's probably got to most of the system. At least it's gotten to where I need it to be to drain the evaporator. So here we go. You can actually see condensation leaking down, and now the foam's leaking down itself. Probably used a third of the can, maybe a half, and hopefully that's done it. And it's leaking out the other side. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's dripping down the other side, so I think we've got some success. And as far as the drain lines go, and hopefully it made it all the way up to the evaporator. We'll find out. I'm going to go take a look at the evaporator through the vent if I can. And I want to save this can for, part of this can, for another similar purpose. Okay, just as a point of reference, and I'm not going to do this today, but to get to your actual blower, your fan, and the evaporator and your heater core, it's down here underneath the center of the cowl. Now to get to that, you have to remove the cowl, and that's done using these. And to remove the cowl, you have to also remove your wiper arms at the nut. None of this is impossible, but it's just something I'm not going to do today. I want to use the endoscope and see if we can access the evaporator from inside the car. Now, I've seen people actually spray directly into their vents. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think my vents are moldy. I don't think they need cleaning. But I'm going to take a good look through the endoscope and see if we can access the evaporator from the cabin. And if we can, I'm going to spray the rest of that can in through there directly into the evaporator. So let's find out. Okay, so we're inside the car, and I've actually removed the center vent assembly, which was pretty easy to do. I'll attach a video from another guy about how to do it. There's clips on the top, and there's also clips on the bottom, and you just kind of pry it out a little bit, wiggle it gently, of course, 25-year-old plastic, but it comes out fairly easily. My thought was I was going to open that up so I could take the endoscope, put the endoscope in the vent, and if I could see the evaporator with the endoscope, then I could just follow the endoscope in with the tube of from the Nextzett, and I could spray the evaporator directly from inside. Didn't work out, couldn't find it, so I think next video we will pull that cowl and we'll see. We'll do it that way. We'll do it the right way, I guess, and we'll also do some other things while we're while the cowl's off. The last thing they tell you to do in the Nextzett is to go ahead and just put your key to the on position and run your fan on high for about 20 seconds. You can kind of smell the stuff. It's kind of a lemony scent, but they said spray, run that to go ahead and get any fumes out. Of course, in closed cars, you're more worried about that than ours, but and next thing we're gonna do, we'll run that AC and watch it drain, hopefully. So funny story, I had to take her out and run her around a little bit, go up and down a curb, go up down a speed bump, and that kind of broke her loose. And as you can see, things are draining like crazy now. No problem at all getting rid of that evaporator water. So I'm happy, mission accomplished. Next video, we'll take a look at it from the top. So there you have it, folks. Nothing complex. It's just, as with a lot of projects on our car, a matter of gaining access to the parts you need to work on, which is not always easy. If you found this content valuable, please crush that like button. And until next time, remember, friends don't let friends drive boring.